Welcome to Maven Chronicles. I am your host, Grace Mayele. On today's show, I'm basically doing a Q&A segment. As you know, every now and then I like to do a Q&A segment where I get to kind of get up close and personal with you and just answer the kind of questions that I've been receiving in the last few weeks. So I'm going to take about 3-4 questions that I've been receiving just so you can kind of get a feel of some of the needs that are out there. I don't have all the answers, but I'll try my best to answer them accordingly and also track them based on my experiences as well. So one of the questions that were provided to me was actually a very good one. Someone asked me, how do you motivate your pipeline? So let's say you build your business, you have a team, or you're looking to have a team. How do you motivate them in such a way where they can be committed? It's so funny because I almost find it such as it's kind of like a sensitive topic because I definitely do connect with this a lot because I'm at a phase in my business where I'm looking to hire or I'm looking to seek out some talent that I can work with. But there are a few criterias because it's always challenging to find the right people. And sometimes it's hard to also define the right people for your business because you're so attached to your business. You have such a up close and personal relationship with it, and sometimes it's so hard for you to let go and delegate. But there comes a time when you have to expand, you have to be more productive, be more efficient, and also be able to release a little bit and just delegate so you can be even more productive. But that doesn't come easily because sometimes hiring means you need the funds to do that. And if you don't have the funds yet, it become even more challenging. It can become a bit more challenging, especially for startups. Like I'm a startup, so I know for a fact that I'm currently looking for resources where I can hire or have a great support system to handle my my bottom line or whatnot. But I can also say that I'm also very precise as to what I'm looking for because it's hard to find people that are committed, people who are going to absorb your vision, embrace it as theirs. Because when you have a baby, it's your baby. Like when you have a business, it's your baby. It's something that you birthed in, you gave birth to, and you have to be hands-on. But it's so hard to just release it. And if you're going to release it, you want to make sure that you're releasing that control to the right people. And oftentimes that's really challenging. And what plays into that is the fact that maybe people are not motivated. So the question that was provided was, how do you motivate people to get them to work for you? Or even if they're already working for you, like some of you may have a business and you have people working for you, but you may be struggling because maybe you don't feel like they're doing what they're supposed to do, or maybe you feel like you're not relating to them as much. And maybe that's because there's just a bit of a disconnect. Like for me, it's important that I work with people I have a relationship with. Not in such a way where, you're my sister or whatever the case may be, but it's people that I know their strength, I know their weaknesses, and they're also mending my strengths and my weaknesses. And there's also that respect when it comes to the work ethic. So to me, I know that's important. That's a culture that I want to have. So for other businesses, some people kind of like to keep more of a neutrality in their relationships, but in order to motivate your team, you have to know your team. And I feel like you can only know your team if you're communicating with them profoundly and also efficiently, right? Because it's all about communication at the end of the day. And sometimes you may think you're communicating one way and that works for one person, but if you have a team, you have to know how each of them operate and how they understand the message that you're trying to divulge. And another thing too is like you have to understand that you have to also make sure that your team understands the culture of what your company is. Like, you know what I mean? Like you want to make sure that they understand and grasp the vision. Oftentimes we understand our businesses one way and we think everybody else understands the way we do, but it's not like that. So you have to really make sure that you roll over a bit and try to see how others perceive your business first, and then kind of give them the inside scoop on what it is that you want them to perceive based on your business. Does that even make sense? But it's just basically you have to make sure that you guys are on the same page. That's really what it is. You have to make sure that your team is on the same wavelength, because if they're getting mixed messages, or if there is just a discrepancy as far as what they're understanding or what they're perceiving the business to be, then it's not always going to be a motivation. But at the same time too, another thing is you have to give your team a reason to be motivated. I personally believe people should be naturally motivated, but at the end of the day, when you're working for an organization, it's like working a 9-to-5. Who have worked a 9-to-5, any job, there's always going to be a reason that's going to spark you more so than others. You're going to have those good days, you're going to have those rough days. That's just how life is, right? Just like when you're building your business, As much as it's your business and you love it, you're gonna have good days and bad days, but there's always something that's gonna motivate you, right? To just keep on building your business. So it's the same thing. When you have a pipeline, you have to make sure that there's something that keeps your team coming, that draws them to your business. Is it incentives? Is it bonuses? I don't know, everybody's different. But sometimes too, it's like, it's a bit more profound. So you have to make sure that you understand what your team is about, what are their personal aspirations. Like for me, it's all about understanding a person from the inside out. Because once I feel like I get them from the inside out, then I understand their work ethic. I understand why they're gonna operate in the dimension that they will. And I've personally seen it. As much as I probably don't have a team hired right now, I've worked with a lot of people throughout my experiences and even with interns. So I kind of seen a few things. So that's the part I've understood where I had to kind of go a bit into deep to kind of get a grasp of who they were, what they were interested in. So I kind of knew. So if there was a discrepancy at some point, I would understand where it was coming from. And I also knew what to delegate to them and how to go about delegating, because you can't delegate a marketer secretary work, right? And you can't delegate like your admin assistant the web design work. So you have to know how to position your team, how to align your soldiers, right, before they go up to battle. So I'm gonna let you marinate on that. I'll take a quick break, and when we come back, we'll just dig deep. What motivates your team? You tell me.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. I personally like to thank you for watching Luca's live show. It was a wonderful experience. Now, for the next season, we're going to be focused on experiences. With my old guests and new guests, we're going to talk about new experiences. It could be good and bad. Don't miss it every Monday, MalaikaTV.com.
You are watching MalaikaTV.com, the first Afro-Caribbean web television in Canada. New shows, new content, and a new image. Watch Malaika TV and enjoy your time.
Would you like to promote a social event, a music album, or a project in the Afro-Caribbean community? Even more, you just open a new business. It could be a drugstore or a barber shop, and you would like to attract more customers. The solution is quite simple. Buy an advertising space on Malaika TV and receive a bigger visibility in all the Afro-Caribbean community in Canada. For further information, please contact us on d.finance@malaikatv.com.
And we are back. So just like I was mentioning before going into the break, you just got to know your team from the inside and out. Like just knowing, just assuming that they're there just for money
This show is brought to you by our official sponsor. For more information, visit
Do you believe in, there's a saying that says, it takes money to make money. Do you believe in that, especially when you know that as a startup sometimes you'll be able to get some things done without the money, but it's all about your mindset?
This show is brought to you by our official sponsor. For more information, visit
En tout cas, Entre hommes, c'est du solide, l'émission la plus regardée par la communauté afro-caribéenne. N'hésitez pas à contacter publicité@malaikatv.com pour vos annonces, pour vos publicités. On est là pour vous. Une fois de plus, vous pouvez voir les beautés qui sont là. On voit de l'art.
So you heard it from the main man already. Malaika TV, Entre Hommes, it's topping the charts right now. Very highly viewed. So if ever you want to go ahead and pass a message, don't hesitate. Publicité@malaikatv.com. That's essentially the address, and we'll get your product out there. I mean, we're big. We're talking Afro-Caribbean big.